start work tomorrow. I got a social media management job at a agency here in Chicago. I'm excited for my first day now that I'm here. I'm not doing YouTube full time, obviously. I'm starting my 9-to-5 job. Here's to a new chapter. This is so embarrassing. I just got done with work and it was literally the worst day of my life. Literally so unhappy at my job, but I don't want to quit. This is my first job after graduating college. I thought this was gonna be the job that I loved, and I'm just so miserable. I don't know what to do. I feel so confused all the time because of it. This is so embarrassing, literally so embarrassing. I think I've cried every single day since I started. I just like feel like I need a sign of like what I'm supposed to do. I can't live my life like this. I can't cry every single day because of work. I literally moved to Chicago for this job. I was so excited for it, and it just is not what I thought it was gonna be. This is so dumb. I'm never even gonna post this, so I don't know I'm recording.
Can I please have a grande iced blonde vanilla latte?
Have a nice day. Freezing outside. I feel like today is the first day that I'm like, I live in the Midwest. Living in the city 101, you have to wait for the sirens to film all the time. Anyway, I just got done with an Orange Theory class, showered, and then I went to Starbucks because I'm treating myself today. It's already 8:15 and I need to sprint to get ready for work so I can leave in like 40 minutes for our last day of work. To quit my corporate job. I genuinely cannot believe I'm saying this when I started my job only 3 months ago. After graduating with my undergrad, I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do with my life. So a lot of you guys know I ended up staying in school to get my master's degree. I don't regret my decision to stay in school and get my master's at all, but in all honesty, I only made it to stall going into the real world and having to get a job and work full time because the real world is freaking scary. No joke. Seriously. So I graduated with my master's degree this summer around the same time I turned 23, and I finally felt like I was ready to ditch the college era and go into the real world. I felt like I was maturing and just ready to leave the college scene behind. Because was it the best 4 years of my life? Yes, but you can't live it forever. I, no joke, probably applied to 500 jobs and had the worst luck, like could not find a job for the life of me. And some people were commenting on my stuff when I would post about the job struggle and not being able to find one. Oh, well, it's probably social media that's holding you back. And like, okay, maybe, but also I was applying to jobs in the social media world, and any interviews that I did get, they were like, honestly, we're really interested in your personal experience managing your own social media accounts. So I really don't think that's what was holding me back. I had so much on my resume, like 3 marketing and advertising internships, a PR job that I held for all 4 years of college, and a master's degree at this point, and I just could not freaking find a job. When I finally got a job offer after 3 months, I was so freaking excited, you guys. I was in my bedroom in my hometown, still living with my parents at this point, and when I got the job offer at 8 p.m. in my email, I tell you, I jumped out of bed, ran to my parents' room, and was screaming, jumping up and down. I was so excited because this was like the one job that I didn't have my hopes up for. This was the one job where I was like, nope, this is very competitive, super well-established place. There's absolutely no way I'm gonna get this. So when I got the job offer, I was freaking out, so excited, and it was like the perfect job on paper, like exactly what I was looking for in the exact area in Chicago that I wanted to live in. It was like the universe wrapped up this job in a bow and handed it to me on a silver platter. I was like, oh my gosh, everything is working out perfectly. Little did I know. Just wait though, we'll get to why I'm going in to quit today. When I first started my job, I definitely was struggling, but all my friends that I talked to about it were like, no, this is totally normal. It's just the post-grad blues. Everyone goes through this transitional period from graduating and basically living your best life in college to going into the real world and having to work the rest of your life until you die. So in my head, I was just like, you know what? I need to get used to it. Everyone's going through the same thing, trying to convince myself in my head. But as time went on, things just seemed to get worse, and my mental health was the lowest it had been in probably, yeah, my entire life. The past 3 months that I've had my job, I have cried every single day since the second day of work. That is not an exaggeration. Maybe a few days I didn't cry, but almost every single day I was crying. I started going to therapy twice as often as I normally was, and it even got to the point where I would wake up and as I was getting ready for work, I was crying, and then I would go on my commute on the train to work and I would just be sobbing my eyes out on the train because I just didn't want to go in. Like physically, mentally, I just Obviously, there's a lot more that went into why I was so unhappy at my job and why I was so depressed and basically miserable. But to be honest, I'm really not comfortable sharing that, at least not at this point. Maybe there will be a day when I will. I'm kind of just still debating that. Maybe it depends how your guys' reaction is to this video because I am a little nervous to like share even what I'm sharing right now. My entire life, I've never been one to quit things. Like I swam competitively from elementary school all the way to college. As you guys know, if you've been watching me for a long time, and I absolutely hated it. Like I would openly say that to my coaches, to my friends, to my parents, everyone. But I never quit because I just didn't want to be a quitter. I didn't want to be labeled a quitter. I didn't want to leave all my friends behind. I didn't want to disappoint anyone. So that just puts into perspective like how out of the ordinary it is for me to be quitting. I'm not one to just give up easily. I try to make things work for as physically long as possible. My therapist kept telling me I was going to reach my breaking point eventually, and then I would know that it was time to quit. But no matter how many times my friends, my family, my therapist, anyone told me to quit this job, which it was pretty much everyone in my life, besides my parents, but they were just like, do whatever's best for you. No matter how many people told me to quit based off what I would tell them, in my head I was like, there is absolutely no freaking way I'm quitting this. This is my first ever job out of college. Like I don't want to just give up. And in the back of my head I was like, this is gonna get better. It's just because I just graduated. I just need to get used to the adjustment. So I just kept pushing through. So a few weeks ago, the breaking point finally came. It was like a light switch turned on in my brain when it happened. I was working remotely that day and I had a conversation with my work that obviously didn't go so well. It left me feeling really unhappy, confused, stressed, upset, like just lost and just like very, I don't know, I took the conversation to heart a lot. And in the workplace, I feel like you can't always do that, but I had been trying to kind of push my feelings away from everything that had been happening to me at work and just try to be like, you know what, this is business, this is how it is. Sometimes in the professional world, things aren't always easy. But at that point, I had had so many mental breakdowns about this job position and it was 4 p.m. I was working remotely. I cried from 4, I think, to 7 p.m. I started sobbing. I was in my room for an hour crying alone. Then I went to go talk to my roommates. I was still sobbing. I could barely get my words out. I called my mom, my dad, my boyfriend. Then I had my therapy appointment. Thank God my freaking therapy appointment was scheduled that day that everything happened. Before I even had those conversations, before I talked to anyone, it was like in that moment that I was sobbing and I was literally, it was 4 p.m. So I was like still working, trying to finish my tasks for the day on my laptop. It was in that moment that I realized nothing was worth this amount of stress and unhappiness. I'm literally gonna start crying. I just like was so unhappy for so long and it was like, it's so stupid because it seems like such a short period of time. I was only working there for 3 months, but when you are literally so unhappy every single day since my second day of work, like literally crying almost every day, it was just really hard. I just felt stupid. I didn't want to quit, but it was in that moment I was like, you know what, fuck this. Like I don't care what anyone thinks of me. I don't care if I go broke because I have no job and I live in an expensive city. I don't care. Like I have to quit because this is not okay. Like all my friends were like, you cannot keep living like this. Like you can't literally sob your eyes out every day. You can't, like it's just not worth it. And so I would finally listen to everyone. I mean, I didn't really listen to them because I know that I would never actually listen. I would always just do what I want. But I realized, you know what, I'm done. Like I'm done with this job. I'm done. Once that light switch turned on for me, and I was like, I'm done with this, there was no going back. There was not one single ounce of regret or second guessing. And I'm a very indecisive person. I was like, I'm quitting and that's about that. Although I'm sad and honestly really embarrassed, my first ever job out of college didn't work out. Like forever, this will go down in history. My first ever corporate position was a complete flop. I'm embarrassed to make this video. I'm embarrassed to go in and quit. I mean, how fucking embarrassing. Like I literally started 3 months ago. I'm gonna be known as the girl who was in and out like that. Everyone's gonna talk about it, but you know what? I'm at the point where I don't care what anyone else thinks. I have to do what's best for me. I'm a firm believer and everything happens for a reason. Eventually I'll understand why this had to happen to me, but I know that this is what I have to do. So I guess now it's on to the unemployed life. Doing a little rebrand. Day in my life unemployed. Get ready with me for my 9 to 5. Get ready with me to do fucking nothing. With my life. But yeah, I am so nervous. I literally feel like I'm shaking right now, but we gotta do what we gotta do. So let's get dressed and head out to go quit. I am terrified. Okay, now we gotta pick out an outfit to wear for this. This is the hard part because what do you wear to quit your job? Like, are you trying to dress to impress or do you not give a because you're already quitting anyway? Who cares? like, do I wear a suit and tie or do I keep it casual because I'll be walking out there in 5 minutes anyway. The dilemma. Honestly, I think we're gonna go with jeans because my work is very casual anyway. What I am gonna miss about my work is that everyone slayed their outfits every single day. They looked so good. They were all trendy, they were all cute. And it was pretty laid back with the attire. So I gotta embrace it one last time with the jeans. And I think we're just gonna go with a basic to match that because I don't want to stand out today. Absolutely not. It's the last thing I'm trying to do. Okay, now does this say I don't want to work here anymore? I got orange makeup all over my white shirt on accident, so love that for me. But you know what? I already look like a clown from quitting my job after 3 months, so what's the difference, you know? I'm a sweater, especially when I get nervous, and I am so nervous for this. So I will be lathering the deodorant on. It's actually freezing outside in Chicago today. Like, it was 70 last week, and now it is 30. I'll be layering up. I think the bus just exploded. Perfect. I'm probably missing it. And the winter coat is coming out to play. Honestly, I wish this zipped all the way up to my head so I didn't have to actually look at anyone when I quit. I'm being really dramatic because I already sent my resignation email so everyone knows I'm quitting. So I'm really just going there to drop off the key and pick up my stuff. But like, the awkward tension that I might have to face someone is truly terrifying. Okay, we got our work bag. I'll grab my shoes on the way out. Wish me luck. I quite literally just missed the bus. Like, I literally walked out of my apartment and saw it go by. So love that for me. I'll probably be standing out in the cold for 15 minutes, but what can you do? I'm a dumbass. It's like I'm just delaying this process and it's making me so nervous. Oh, their shoes, thank God. Got off the L, we are here, and now we just have to walk the rest of the way to my work. I'm getting more nervous by the second. Like, should I turn around? Should I go back? Is the question. No, there's no going back. I'm kidding. I'm just scared. The fact that I'm not sobbing though is really surprising for me. I cannot believe that this will be my last commute, and I'm actually really thankful. Not once besides today did I have to make the commute in the freezing cold. I mean, it could be way colder. Like, if I had to make this in the dead of winter, no. Last time in my office they already took my name off the wall. Cheers. Why wouldn't they? Okay, I'm out of work. I did the damn thing. Definitely not as scary as I thought, but I was literally shaking and dripping sweat. Okay, now we're headed home. I'm officially unemployed. I am back. Successful quitting of the job. I picked up Wingstop for me and Tyler, and I'm in a feast now. Had to treat myself after making the big girl move because that was not easy. I did have to confront my boss, so I was shaking and terrified and called Tyler before I walked into the office because I didn't want to do it. I was about to not go through with it. Cheers. We're gonna eat now.